Hi, my name's Josh and this is my story. So I come from India and I was born and brought up in a Christian family there. My parents are missionaries. My dad used to work for Operation Mobilization and my mom was a teacher. And while growing up, I was living actually two different lives. In school, I was a naughty kid, the chopsy kid, the kid who did any dares that was set to him. And at church, I was, oh, he's a good kid, you know, he's a nice boy. I remember at school, I was so naughty that they used to call my dad quite a lot, but I used to always, you know, forge signatures and do things that wasn't great. While at school, basically, I joined a gang, and this gang was around 40 different people, and they used to go around, and we used to be part of fights and different threatening people and doing all these type of things. And I was very much in the front line doing it because I had a short temper, and they used to really exploit it in terms of, oh, Josh gets angry really quickly, push him in front and let him do it. And I did that till I was around 18. I was part of the gang, and throughout being there, I became really good friends with one of the leaders there. While being part of the gang, my parents always used to, like, although I think they knew what I was doing, they never said that to me. They always gave me a second chance, I would say. And they used to send me to a Christian camp. And I remember going to this camp, and the leader over there who was preaching, he was speaking into my life, if I'm being very honest. He was just saying, are you living two different lives? Are you living a life of a good kid at church, at home, and a life that you shouldn't be living at school or within your social life? And it just hit home because I knew he was talking to me personally, and I sat there just thinking, God knows everything what I'm doing. What am I hiding from, and why am I doing this? And that was the changing point within my life. And going back, it was a really big pressure put on me by my friends, because they wanted me to do what I was doing. They wanted me to do it more, and they were putting that pressure. But through God's help, I was able to abstain from it. And that summer, I did get baptized, and I was very pleased about it. I remember, like, the guy who was the leader of the gang, we used to talk a lot. And when I came back from the camp, I had the opportunity of actually sharing what Jesus had done in my life. And I said, God can do that in your life. And I said, can I pray for you? And we prayed together, and that was the best moment of my life. I really enjoyed that bit, because after a few days he met with an accident and he died. And this guy was my best friend. I was completely distraught, but because I was able to share with him, I saw him saying the prayer, and I was able to share the good news with him with full confidence. I knew that I would see him when I'm in heaven. While I was in school, because I was involved with this gang, I didn't really pay much attention to my studies. So year 8, year 9, I did really bad in my studies. So bad that it really affected my years. I had to resit them, and it wasn't a great experience for me. And when Jesus was part of my life, I knew that I had to do well in what I was doing. I had to really work hard, and I worked hard. I studied accountancy, and I did masters in it, and I was offered a job in India with a mission to take care of their finances and help them out. And it was a great time. I learned a lot through it. I was heavily involved with the church, doing a lot of youth work and leading the youth club there. And I really enjoyed those evenings I used to do. While at the mission, I had the opportunity through the mission director to not only work within churches in that city of Hyderabad, but also he gave me the opportunity to come to the UK through a charity called Care Force. The opportunity was to come and work in a church for a year, doing youth work, schools work, children's work, and just grow and see whether that was something that God was wanting me to do. And throughout the year, it got more and more evident that this is what I wanted to do personally, and this is what I felt God was asking me to do. So much so that the church asked me to come and do it again for another year. And after that, I was able to enroll myself into a Bible college. While I was at Morelands in my second year, I met my wife, my now wife Alana, who also shares the youth work with me, and we do it together as a job share in Cardiff. Working in Cardiff has been great, and myself and my wife, we've been involved with various secondary schools within Cardiff, and I feel that the young people are going through is just the pressure that they feel every day in school. While I was growing up, I had the same pressures in India, and that led me to the whole area of where I went into joining a gang, doing certain things just because others around me were doing it and I wanted to fit in. And I believe that's the same pressure, different countries, but the same pressure that the young people feel. Why should a young person choose Jesus, follow him? I think personally, from my own experience, that I have felt is that God really is there for you, and you can feel it when you believe in him and when you know him personally. It's going to be hard, it's not going to be easy, it's always going to be hard, but God is there for you. He's there behind you, rooting for you, knowing, and if you know him and trust him personally, he'll always be there for you.